Yeah, it charges pretty quick. Wow. I'm live now. Oh my god. So yeah, join in on there, cause it's yeah, it's lit. All right, just go to the channel. All right, bye. And this is so much different. I'm waiting for more people to come in here. Yay! Lisa's here, everybody. Hold on. Who's that? Oh, okay. That's Marjorie. All right. Um, I guess I can just roll with you guys for now because I don't know where everybody else is, if they even got my thing. But let me go to these points again. I can't believe that I'm actually doing this. Like, it feels good, to make a transition, to do something different, to take it now to a different space. So, as you guys know, the first topic is there a time limit on saying I love you? I think that this is very important to me because I think about when we're in relationships and how often we are concerned about when is the proper time to express how we feel about the other person. Like, there's such a stigma that's associated with it based on the fact that people feel like there's either the chance to say it when I guess it's the perfect moment, or if you say it too soon, it may actually ruin it. So I wanted to be able to discuss that with you guys just so you guys can, I guess, hear my perspective on it, and maybe we can discuss that for a little bit just to see where it goes, right? So, one moment. I'm so excited. Thank you guys. I'm sorry. This is still new to me. All right. So, for the first point that I have for is there a time limit on saying I love you? Why do we limit when we say it at first? I oftentimes think we limit it because we are afraid. Like, we don't want people to negatively judge us, or we're afraid of the responses that we'll get, or even the reactions. So we limit it on the basis of it not necessarily being able to give us the results that we want. So if we're coming at dealing with the other person as a means of being able to maybe be uncertain about it because we're not sure where we want the relationship to lead us to, it gives us a space of, well, I know that I don't have to put as much pressure on myself. So if I don't say it, then I can kind of see, based on what this other person is showing me, how serious I want the relationship to go. I look at that as a bit problematic for me because I feel like if I'm feeling it, I'm going to say it. Because my thing is, when you have love in your heart, love is not something that you want to limit. You want to always be able to express that love. Because by expressing that love, you're literally showing whatever it is that you're feeling for that person or feeling for that moment, it's worth letting out. And love feels like such a vibration that when you feel it, you don't want to limit it. Like, you want to make sure everybody's able to encounter it the same way that you are, because it's that powerful of an emotion. And when I think of love, I think of joy. I think of serenity. I think of bliss. But I can't feel love by myself if I'm the only person that feels it and the other person can't feel it with me. You know what I mean? So I just feel like it's something that we have to actively be able to discuss with each other and actively have to be able to understand. Um, so the next point I have is, have you ever said it during sex? I think that that's important too, because as you guys know, on my Facebook page, I actually made a post, or I shared a post where a guy was having sex with a woman and he told her not to catch feelings, but he was saying "I love you" to her, and a lot of women were basically stating how that's problematic. You know, it's problematic on the basis of why would he be connecting with her on such a deep level and telling her not to catch feelings while saying "I love you" to her. It's like he was confusing her, and in a way, I can kind of see how that can be confusing, but I don't see that there's an issue with saying it during sex. I think that we think that it's an issue because we feel like sex kind of clouds our judgment so much that we're not necessarily sure if it's actual love that we're feeling or if it's lust. But I think when you actually say it during the process, it's actually stimulating and it's giving that person some type of overly joyful, experience. And I know we kind of knock it because it's like no one wants to be, caught up in dealing with something that is going to leave you responsible for the other person's emotions. But maybe it's actually a good thing because by doing that now you're actually able to give the other person a chance to experience what it means to be within that moment. And sometimes I think when you say "I love you," it's literally just a moment of being able to say it in a space where it's allowing you guys to come from such a moment of completion together. Like there's no doubt in your mind because you already know what it is based on what you've already allowed it to be in that space. So I've done it before and I mean I don't have an issue with it. I know some people will because they look at it as a bad thing, but maybe it's a chance to be able to get it at a level of, certainty for you guys. And Lisa says, let me see. I don't even know how to read these comments. Good Lord. Okay, I got it. So she says it's not an issue when said during sex. However, that shouldn't be the very first time saying it to each other. Why not? Do you think that that's a bad thing? That's interesting. I'm gonna get to the next point. One moment, but yeah, you can keep it going, Lisa. If you decide to answer that question, please let me know so I can respond back to that. Man, this is so much different than Facebook, y'all. I swear. Sheesh. Um. So does saying it change the dynamic of the relationship? In a sense, I think that it can change the dynamic, just based on the fact that if you guys are not actually at that space where you guys are comfortable with each other, it can put a lot more pressure on each other now to have to meet the needs of the other person. Because when I think of saying the word "I love you," that literally means that I'm going to be responsible for taking care of you. I'm going to make sure that your soul feels good with me. I'm going to make sure that you are at a place of, dependency. Like you can actually come to me and feel at ease. Like you don't have to worry about how I'm going to take something or how I'm going to feel because in a way you already know. So if I'm saying I love you, I'm basically saying that I want to be responsible for you. I want to be able to take care of you and make sure that you are at a place of need. I can erase that for you. You don't have to worry about you being uncertain about anything because I want to show you what it means to love you, almost like to care for you. So I think it can. I mean, I definitely see how some people are kind of hesitant and they're worried about saying it because they don't want to make more out of their relationship than what they are actually intending to get out of it. But by saying I love you, maybe you're allowing that other person to be at peace with you. Maybe you're allowing them to actually let their guard down because now they can sort of trust you and they don't have to worry about it as much. It's one reason why I've never really been cautious about saying it because I feel like if you're saying it, you are already at a place where it doesn't matter. Like you can finally just be free. And whether the other person says it back or not, I mean, you said it. That's how you feel, you know? And Marjorie says, I think love is not an emotion, it's a state of mind. So you don't think love is something that we feel? I can agree with the state of mind part too, though. I think that it's a mindset that we have to place ourselves towards, because when we start to think of it in our minds, then it allows us to be able to do all of those amazing things. But if you're looking at it from an action standpoint, it's like, oh, well, this person doesn't love me because they don't do X, Y, and Z. This person doesn't care about me because they don't make these things happen. But you got to be able to look at it from the whole totality of it all. And Lisa says sex is such a powerful. Oh, God. Hold on. This is so weird. Okay, so she says sex is such a powerful drug that can make people say and do things that they don't mean or wouldn't normally do. I can see that. I think it's just because of how great it feels in that moment. Like, you don't want to take that away from the experience. And because that experience feels so good, you just want to keep, you know, being in that experience. And by being in that experience, you're going to do and say things that will help you maybe get to a place of, well, it doesn't really make a difference if I really don't feel this person. I'm still going to say it because that desire that I'm feeling feels so good. And I know for women, because they release that oxytocin, which is that same bonding hormone that's found when they're having a child, I can see that. It's like a sense of security, because it's like a security blanket that comes over them that makes them feel like, bonded, like, they're that together. That's why it's like, if you're not careful with sex, so much of it can destroy our lives, because now we're forcing ourselves to have to be at a place of, well, this other person cares about me. Why? Well, then, we had some amazing sex, so that shows that they really want to be with me. And it shows that they're really committed to the process of understanding. Sometimes they're not, though, and it's literally just that sex part that's just taking its toll. But we don't think about it like that because we're so busy trying to enjoy the sex. So these are some good comments, y'all. Thank you, thank you. So for my fourth point, I have is I love you less valuable today. I look at that as being another key question, because I feel like in some cases it is less valuable as it is today, because so many people just throw the word around but don't really have any true intentions of it. So it's like they're literally telling you that they care about you, they value you, but it's only on a conditional basis. When I think of the word I love you, I think of unconditional love. I think of love that no matter what happens, I'm always going to be there in support. I'm going to be there to guide you. I'm going to be there to protect you, to make sure that everything goes wrong with you. One moment. Lisa says, sorry if this is too much to be true, but it is true. What are you talking about? The I love you part, what I'm saying right now, or just in general? But yeah, I mean, I think that it's just one of those things where we have to be careful with it. And I see now why so many people don't really say it anymore, because maybe they don't feel that way for someone. Or maybe they're afraid of the responsibility that comes with it. Because I really feel like when you say it, there's a responsibility that comes up when you're looking at it from that place. I just can't say I love you now without actually showing my actions behind it. Because by not showing my actions, it's simply showing you that maybe I really don't care about you that much. Or maybe I'm only with you because of the conditional basis aspect of it. The moment you stop doing those things for me, I don't really know if I'll love you as much. It's scary, but it happens in so many cases. That's why you see so many relationships end the way they do, because when that love went away, when they weren't able to get what they expected to get, there was nothing else left. So once that happens, what else is there? What else is available? Other than what we allow to be available, right? So, love is something that we should not play with, because I feel like so many people have their own interpretations of it. And by playing with it, you're simply showing people that, you're trying to give them what you expect for them to have. But you can't do that nowadays. People have their own understanding for a reason. Based on their own experiences, you just got to respect it. So the last point I have on the I love you topic is, does I love you mean you can do whatever you want without being responsible for the other person? So it kind of ties into what I was saying about the responsibility factor. Saying I love you does not mean that you can do that, but so many people do it anyway because they don't realize how important it is, right? So, like Lisa just says now, like Marjorie just says now, love is an action word. It's so easy to say the words, but not easy to prove it. So it's one of those things where it's like, if we're not looking at it from a place of us being able to realize that we actually have to hold ourselves accountable by saying those words and expecting the actions to potentially, I guess, become available through that, we're setting ourselves up. You know what I mean? So if I'm saying I love you and if I'm saying I care about you, the other person is automatically going to feel like in a moment where they're in need, they can come to you. You know, you should be able to help them out. You should be able to give them some type of encouragement or guidance. But how many of us actually do that? You know, we say we love people, but we only love them based on what they can do. Because that moment that they stop doing that, that whole love thing goes out the window. Like for me, I love you means that I love you all throughout all of those things. It just doesn't mean temporary or conditional. It's not based on however I can benefit from it that's going to make me love you the proper way. But a lot of us look at it from that point, and that's why I think we suffer because we're not able to see how much we can actually help a person by showing us being sincere just by using a word as simple as I love you. So I think that's a good point, and these are some really nice, you know, talking points because I mean it's making me think twice about the word too. Like I just can't throw the word around all willy nilly with the hopes of, oh well, it's not going to affect this person or it doesn't mean as much, but it actually does, because some people, I don't know if it's that they're attention starved or if they're attention seeking, but it can give them the need of feeling like they need to fill that void, and saying the words "I love you" can do that. It's why words of affirmation are so important. Because for those people that have "I love you" that fits that category of the words of affirmation, it gives them some type of, well, I can actually be at peace with myself now because now this person said that they love me and now they said that they cared about me. It's one reason why you'll hear women say, like, don't say that word if you don't mean it. And it's the truth. You saying it with the hopes of trying to get someone to be what you want them to be, but in reality, you just creating your deathbed. So yeah, that's very interesting. So, quick question. Can you guys comment and let me know if you want me to do the second part? Or should I wait for another day to have more people in here? The only reason why I'm saying that is just because, you know, it's just you guys in here and I don't really want to take away from what we could have as be a potential greater live where more people can comment. So, what do you guys think? Any comments? Any comments? Way to do it. All right. Respect. I agree with you, Marjorie. I mean, people do have their own definition, and I think that's why it works out the way it works. Like, people are afraid. And by being afraid, we're always going to get these uncertain results. You know? I think it's just important to have conversations so you can know where people's heads are. Once you have the proper conversations, then you can make room for it. But that's just me. So, yeah. I'm going to try this out again and see. I don't know if I like this too much, man. Like, I feel like Facebook would have been more interactive, but I don't know. Guess I'll give it some time. I thank you guys, though. As always, your support means the world. And, this feels so weird. I'm used to like 20 people being in here. But thank you guys, though. I appreciate you. All right. So you guys have a good night. I'm gonna go and I know, but I don't like to think that I'm not doing a good job. You know how that goes. I feel like I'm a perfectionist a little bit, low key, low key. But I'll give it some time to build up for sure, and I'll see how that goes too. But the good thing is I can go back and listen to this again too, and I guess I can see what I can do differently next time. All right. So thank you. I appreciate it. Have a good night, guys. I don't even know how to end this. Okay. Okay.